to one at noon, and that was with the business community and the chamber, EDC. Then at 4 o'clock, we had faculty and staff in, and now we have you here, and we're very pleased that you are here. We have one more, and that will be coming up at 6 o'clock, and that will be principals and assistant principals. We certainly value your comments. We value what you have to say concerning the type of superintendent you're looking for, the qualities, the characteristics that you would like for us to consider in our next superintendent. And we're taking a good bit of time today to hear what the community has to say to the Board of Education in this matter. We have been here all day. As a matter of fact, the board actually loaded up and we went down to Granite Falls for a, what was that, 4 o'clock? 3 o'clock. Sorry to keep up with the time. We went down to Granite Falls Elementary School at 3 o'clock for a Skype with an astronaut who's been out to the space station, and that was fantastic to see the video that they had and to hear her answer the questions of the students that was there. That was absolutely a wonderful experience for all of us. So it's been a busy day for us, but we are certainly pleased that you are here. We are here, as in other public comment, to listen, and it is not our place at this meeting to respond to any comment or whatever, but we have on the board here, Board Policy 2310, public participation at board meetings. Certainly not going to go over that. 2 points, however, and that is we have some speakers that are signed up, and each one is given 3 minutes. Allison Schaefer with the School Boards Association is over here. She will raise her hand when the 3 minutes is up. And we're not going to cut you off right then. We're going to go ahead and let you finish your sentence, your thought, whatever. I think we're probably going to be in good shape as far as time is concerned. The other thing is also important. It is not appropriate to speak about or to recommend specific individuals in this public forum. North Carolina personnel law protects the confidentiality of information about individual employees and potential applicants. If you want to make comments about these individuals, you may complete a superintendent search survey and mention those individuals in your comments on the survey. We do have an online community survey that parents as well as the entire community can participate in. The survey can be accessed and completed online by going to the school system website at caldwellschools.com. You can also get a paper copy, print one off, drop it off at the Education Center at your convenience. The staff also has an online staff survey that they can participate in. The deadline for surveys, your response to these surveys, is Monday, February 5th. The results of the survey will be compiled, summarized, and presented to the board and to the public at our next regular school board meeting, and that will be on Monday, February 12th. If there's a group or an organization that would like to submit a statement regarding any leadership qualities that you'd like to see in a superintendent, those can be directed to Allison Schaefer by mail at NCSBA, Post Office Box 97877, Raleigh 27624, or by email, aschaefer, SCHAFER, at ncsba.org. Or, if you choose, you can also do that by fax, 919-841-4020. These statements also must be received by February 5th. I think you know that this is a very important decision that the school board is going to be making. It is probably one of the most important things that we do as a Board of Education is to hire a superintendent. The board has retained the North Carolina School Boards Association to assist with the administration of this superintendent search. North Carolina School Boards Association is the most experienced provider of superintendent search services in the state of North Carolina, having helped North Carolina school districts in over 150 or approximately 150 superintendent searches in the last 20 years. Here with us today, we have three people from the School Boards Association. I'll introduce Allison Schaefer. She is the legal counsel and director of policy for the North Carolina School Boards Association. Allison?
Good evening, again, board members. Good evening, members of the community. My name is Allison Schaefer. As the chairman said, I am the legal counsel and director of policy for the North Carolina School Boards Association. I am an attorney, and we run the superintendent search service that the association has out of our legal department. I have been doing superintendent search services for 20 years with the School Boards Association, and it is one of my favorite things to do to support boards. It is the most important decision that the school board will make, who its next leader will be. It is the leader of the school system sets the tone, and the board has a huge responsibility to help make sure that they find a good leader. I want to make it clear that our role is not to make any substantive decisions. The board by law is the decision maker. What we do is support the board in its ability to get good candidates, good information about those candidates, and have an efficient and effective process so that the board is spending its time making the substantive decisions about who it believes the next person should be. Every single school board in the state of North Carolina is a member of our association, so we know all the superintendents and many of the administrators and all the school board members, so that it allows us to know who's out there looking, have a feel for who might be interested, reach out to people that we think might be a good fit for the board, and also to reach out to board members about, in other systems, about information about the candidates that might come from their system, so it allows us to get good reference information. I'm also a board member of or an officer in the National Affiliation of Superintendent Search Group, which is other states that do services like we do, and we have contacts throughout the country that allows us to get good information and get good candidates from the rest of the country as well. So I just want to make it clear that's our role. We are also, as part of our service, are offering the surveys that the chairman mentioned. We do those kinds of things where we make sure that there's a good process available, and we have had a very good results from the surveys already. We've had, as of today, 1,110 community members complete the survey, and 355 staff members complete the survey. Those are really, really great numbers, and the board has done an amazing job of getting the word out about the surveys and encouraging people to fill them out. And obviously, the community here is very engaged, which is evident from the participation today and from the participation in the surveys, so that's great. So we are here to assist the board and support the board. This is the only employee that the board hires directly, that doesn't go through the Human Resources Department, doesn't come as a recommendation from superintendent. So by law, the board doesn't have a structure set up to support it, and that's why we offer that support. So this is a unique decision for the board and a unique hiring process. Hope that helps explain it.
Thank you, Allison. We appreciate those words and look forward to the help that you will provide us in the coming days here. We have some people that have signed up for comments, so I will call those out in the order that they signed up. First, Bill Stone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I guess one of the things that you think about when you bring a new superintendent in, I know I work for 5 different ones, and everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen, but where do we start from? What is the starting point that you're bringing this person into? I'd like to thank you because this board has shown tremendous leadership working with its fine staff and giving us a world-class school system. You can look around, look at test scores, look at where we are with our program for young people, and it's impressive. Also, we have a relationship, a partnership with our community college that's as good as anybody's in this state. And it grows each year. The thing that I'd like to mention here is sort of like this insurance commercial you hear that I'm getting more. The idea of having to do more, I think we're going to have to do more to keep the status quo. We know what the starting point is. That's where we are today. You've seen your test scores. You've seen various people evaluate where we are as compared to other LEAs in the state. We know where we are working together with the college. We know that we've got programs like the early college program that's nationally recognized. We know we've got a building down there that no one else was able to do. We did it with less resources than a lot of LEAs have. We know all those things. The question is, can we maintain it? Can we grow from it? I am concerned about some clouds on the horizon concerning population growth. They tell us that rural North Carolina is not going to grow. It may be losing a little population. We are already seeing a decline in enrollment both here and at the college. That means less resources. I think that trend is going to continue. At the same time it's continuing, we see the urban areas of North Carolina. I've got a daughter that teaches in Wake County. It's the third biggest school system in the country. And they are growing so fast that they can't build enough schools fast enough. And think about it, if you had to build a high school a year. What is going to happen with this is that in 2020, we're going to have a census. And when we get the census, we're going to have new legislative districts. And the urban areas of North Carolina are going to pick up clout. And that clout is going to mean resource redirection. And our biggest challenge is how do we overcome the loss of those type of resources, what we've been accustomed to. I think we're going to have to make that partnership with the college even more important. We're going to all have to work hard to hold our end of the board up so that we can seek out other sources of funding through federal, private sources. The president's proposal for infrastructure includes a part in there for rural America. And that may be possibly a way to go after grant money. But we're going to have to find other sources of revenue if we're going to maintain our position as how we compare with other LEAs in North Carolina. I just want to mention that in terms of when you're looking for a superintendent and you look around at this starting point, sure, it's good. It's something to be proud of. You people are something to be proud of. But how do we go from here? Nobody here wants to see a school system go backward after we start and hire a new superintendent. At the same time, we know the enrollment decline is beginning to affect us. It's affecting us to college. And so those are some issues that together we need to find a way to address. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you.
Thank you, Bill. We appreciate you being here. Next on the list, Larry Taylor.
Thank you. I'm Larry Taylor. It's a pleasure to have worked with the school board under Dr. Stone's tenure. We have a great relationship with the board. If something is not broke, it's hard to fix. And we go across the state to different meetings, and people are already waiting on us to ask us, why do you have such a good relationship with your school board? Why do you have a good relationship with your county commissioners? And we just say, we're all on the same side. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. We appreciate your comments as well. Next, Mark Porch, Dr. Mark Porch.
Thank you, Chairman Pennell and members of the board. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to speak to you. And I also want to echo what Mr. Stone was saying, and by first thanking you for all that you do to support our young people in this county and to support the collaborative efforts between the school system and the community college. I've been at the college a little over 12 years, so about the same time Dr. Stone came. And I'm very proud of the work that we've done together. And I think it's evident as we go across the state of North Carolina and other people talk about the great things that are going on in Caldwell County. So from my perspective, and I think certainly for the college, the most important thing is to hire a new superintendent who has that collaborative spirit and who understands the value of partnerships and relationships and wants to kind of pick up from where we are and not go backwards, but certainly move us forward. And I think in the times that we're in of diminishing resources, that collaboration is even more important. The stronger that can be, the stronger we're going to be collectively. And I know that we're all in this business for the same thing, and that's to make life better for the people we serve. And so, that's certainly first and foremost on my mind, and I look forward to whoever the candidate is, working with that person as we carry forward the mission of the community college and the mission of the Caldwell County school system. The second thing I would like to mention, and I think it's very important that we think about this, and that is hiring somebody who values technical education and somebody who's willing to work with our business community, our business and industry partners to make sure that they understand what their needs are and what their workforce needs are, and aligning those workforce needs with our educational programs. And we certainly want to be a part of that and to develop pathways for students so that what they're taking in high school transitions into the community college and then transitions into the world of work. So we're trying on our side to make a big emphasis and a big focus on that relationship with business and industry, and I think it behooves all of us to make sure that we do that. The pathway to employment has changed. Most of us in this room probably have a four-year degree. I have kids in the university system who are pursuing four-year degrees, but that's not the only pathway to employment, and we just need to be aware of that. And, from my perspective, making opportunities available for our students and in whatever way that may be, if that's at the community college, at the university, whatever. So making sure that we understand what those business needs are, what the jobs are in our area, and then educate our community about those job opportunities and help them understand here's the educational pathway you need to take to get there. So for me, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, those are kind of the two most important things, but we look forward to continuing our work together to make Caldwell County the special place that it is. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dr. Porch. Next, Alvin Daltrich.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and board members. And thank you for the job that you have done as our board. I mean, obviously, we've got a lot of good things going on. And as it's already been said, we want to continue those things, and I think that the landscape is changing somewhat, as Dr. Porch mentioned. And speaking as a local, someone who represents a local industry, and we find it more difficult to find employees. We need for people to be better aware of what is here, the level of jobs at all levels. We appreciate the fact that teachers will come on plant tours. We love the comments they make about how surprised they are about what they see. And obviously, every business is constantly changing. So, as you seek a new superintendent, encourage them to think beyond what has been done before, because it's going to be necessary that we have more of this sort of thing to understand so that we can fill the economic needs of the community. And it's different than it used to be. We certainly want somebody who will work hand in glove with the community college. I think that has been one of the great partnerships. Community partnerships are really important. I couldn't stand before you and talk about a superintendent without mentioning communities and schools. or congratulating you on the school system's dropout rate. I mean, we don't have anybody to waste. And so I hope, you know, they will be a person who will look for partnerships, because partnerships empower us all. One challenge I'd put out there, I'd love to see us be the first school system that could track its graduates. How can we know what to do unless we know where they are and what paths they went? And I know this is a challenge everywhere, but that would be one of the objectives that I hope you would ask them to try to achieve on our behalf. The school system has a very good, very positive image. I think that's essential that we keep that people are proud of what we have and where it's going to go. I think if you go back lots of years ago, that wasn't always the case. And I think it is really important to the community that they feel that sense of success and of progress being made. So, you know, I hope they're a very positive person that will salute the people who've made the difference in this community. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Daughters. We appreciate your comments. That is the extent of what we had listed. But we have time. We have plenty of time, and we would welcome any other comments that any of you might have. That would be helpful. That's what we're looking for. Anything that can be helpful as far as what we're looking for in a new superintendent. Anyone?
Daryl, I make a comment.
Okay.
I've been
Ron?
goaded by these guys over here.
I know they've been prodding you.
I told my wife I was coming to the Education Center tonight for a meeting, and I said, I'll have to ask the Lord to forgive me for turning back after I left here, got out of the school business, but I appreciate what you're doing. I'll just say, what these people have said are great comments. It's a thing of being together, educationally being together on where we want to go. And I would say to you, you've done such a tremendous job. Keep going. Don't look back, because we're not going that way. And that's all I want to say. That's my motto. I don't ever look back, because I'm not going that way. And I hope you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. We appreciate your comments as well. Anyone else? We have ample time, so we're going to be here. We've got another session coming up in half an hour, so we welcome any comments.
I'm sure Bill could talk some more.
Who? All right, anyone?
We do have some homework that we can give you to encourage friends, family, neighbors to complete the survey. You can find it on the Caldwell County School website or on the Facebook page, but please encourage, because we'll make a better decision the more information we have from the citizens of Caldwell County. So you've got homework to get folks to fill out that survey and complete that information by February 5th.
February 5th, Monday. And Allison said, you know, we've had a great response, which that's great. That's what we want. That's the reason we put it out. That's the reason we're having these meetings, because we need community input. You know, we want to make the best decisions for Caldwell County, because we don't want to go backwards. And, you know, it takes every group working together. You know, we've got 4 different groups that's going to be represented by the end of the day, plus all the community, the ones that couldn't be here. Just as Teresa said, encourage people to fill out that survey. You know, we've hired a group to gather that for us, and for us to be able to look at it and assess what the way the county wants to go. You know, because it's all about the children, raising the children. You know, if you raise the bar, you raise the children, you raise the adults bar.
Because we've got a little over 1,000 people have filled it out, but we've got little over 60,000 adults in the county, 80,000 people, so help us out with that.
Well, you've started out in the right direction. You've got the right search firm out there leading you, and I think you've done well to do that.
You had a person to stand up.
Thank you, Ron. Come
You
on.
had somebody to stand up. In the very back.
Who else? Anyone else? Go.
Do I have to come up there?
Well,
We can hear you
it would
better
probably
if
be
you
better
do.
for everybody, but
Okay. Wasn't planning on talking, but the things they were talking about is very businesslike and how you want it to be, the working together. And we appreciate all that you do. I know that superintendent is a very important person, and it affects, well, it's going to affect all of our kids, you and the businesses and everybody who will be in contact with him and what he does. So my thing, being a grandma, like I am, and I hear all these grandma stories and mama stories about their kids in school and how confusing it is for them not to understand what the kids are bringing home. But I don't want to go there. I have lots of stories. Mine is short. I want to know if this person, man or woman, is a person of God and understands the Constitution and knows how to build that into our school. For these children, not to be afraid to say their prayer at lunchtime and say God, and be told you're not allowed to say that. We've already taken prayer out, and I don't know if that'll ever come back. The child, when he says his prayer now but quietly, and God is not mentioned. That's why we came to America. That's why we came, so we would be able to worship the way we wanted. And we've been able to do that forever until these last few years. And so I want this person to, I don't know if he can bring it back, bring that fellowship back to our students, and for the teachers not to be afraid, because they don't want to tell their students, you can't say that. You can't say stupid, you can't say fat, you can't say ugly, you can't go, you said a bad word. A lady was driving with her son. He said, Mama, look at that black dog in that boat. And then it goes, and she says, what? And he says, I said that bad word. And she said, what? And he said, I said black. Now, I have grandkids that also have things at school they can't say. They're in Florida. But it's happening everywhere. And I don't want kids to be growing up worried about the color black or the word ugly or fat. And I'm asking them, because I said these, what's wrong with that word? And they said, well, it's a bad word. Well, why? I said, I was sad I did a stupid thing. And I said, tell me why. He said, well, Grandma, somebody might hear that and it might hurt their feelings. Now, we have all this, so we're trying to put so much on these kids that they can't say or do. They can't even get a hug from a teacher, and especially these little ones that sometimes need a little hug. But we've gotten so tight and so filled with rules about what they can say and do. And just to say prayer over their lunch, I want somebody that would, welcome this and stand up for our babies. There are babies that are going to be taking care of us. We already have those who have grown up and are really, when you hear that they need safe places and they need therapy dogs or hot chocolate, that these kids need to feel safe. Well, we're in a world where things happen, and anyway, that's enough. I know I went over 3 minutes, but I thank you for letting me say that. I can't believe I haven't got up here and did it, but I did. But that's my thing, just so he's a good man, believes in God, and knows our Constitution and what our rights are, and that our kids don't have to be afraid of what they say. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for being here. Anyone else? Thank you again for taking your time to be here with us. We value your thoughts. We value what you do for our community. We're very blessed in this community to have people like yourself that are interested in our school system and the collaborations that we have all throughout the county. That being said, we have another meeting at 6. Do I hear a motion that we recess until 6 o'clock?
I move for recess.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
And all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are recessed until 6 o'clock. Thank you again.